Well, I started using when I was 13, and then it just kind of went downhill from there. I have been shot twice, raped, all of the stuff. I was living in Five Points for a while. Before treatment I just pretty much was numb to everything, and I used to create myself to be numb. And I didn't really know how to function with life without using. So it was really dark. I was really stuck in a really rough place, and I had to come to terms with either I suffer through withdrawal or I continue to use. So I had to suffer through the withdrawal, and I didn't want to go to treatment. I was like, it was scary. It was rough. I didn't know what it was going to be like. So it scared me. I was in my aunt's basement, and I was very secluded. I just secluded myself in my room and just pretty much was drinking myself to death. And I actually don't remember this, but my aunt had called like a person from Colorado for treatment, and they actually came over to the house and saw me and was like, hey, here are some like resources for you to go to get treatment. That's how I got into treatment. I didn't really make the choice. My aunt made it for me and was pretty much like, either you're gonna have to move out or you seek treatment. It was terrifying. My main thing was I didn't want to be away from my cat, which I know sounds stupid, but I didn't. And it was the little things like that made me want to stay, in my seclusion. And it was rough at first. I'm not gonna sugarcoat it. I was going through withdrawal, and so I would come to group with shakes, and it sucked at first. But once I was able to open up more and be able to talk freely about my experience and my life and what had gotten me to this point of pretty much just killing myself slowly, I was able to open up, and I found family in these rooms, like long-term friends that I consider family to this day, who are also going through the same stuff that I was going through. I did go to rehab before when I was 15, and I was so young, I didn't really take it all in. But Sandstone, I guess what was awesome about it was that some of the therapists are in recovery too. And so they know what it's like, and being able to connect with your therapist on that level means a lot to an addict. It created a really safe place to be able to talk and to open up, and that was my main thing, and I loved it. When I first went into therapy and everything, they pretty much were just like, asked me about my life, what had happened, and when I realized a lot of it had stemmed to numb myself from the trauma that I had experienced, that helped a lot, because I was able to go from there and realize why I was using and why I was numbing myself. When we went through therapy and I realized all this trauma and everything, I knew what steps to take, and they didn't just throw me out when I was done, when I graduated, like we have alumni, and they really prepared me with coping mechanisms, which helped a lot. And that was one of the main things of learning was like, if you are feeling a craving, or if you're, really irritated, mad, then you can have these coping mechanisms to continue, like to recenter yourself and move past that craving. If you're fed up with going through withdrawals, then go to treatment. I mean, it's not all sunshine and rainbows, but it's worth it in the end. Like, now I have my own apartment, and I feel successful in my life, and I'm continuing to follow my dreams that I forgot I had when I was a little girl. Treatment is awesome. It's scary. I'm not going to lie about that, but it's worth it. Find a good community. Go to an anonymous program. Find people, because one of my biggest things was I was scared of, how do I find friends in recovery? Like, how do I have this social aspect of my life? Like, I used to go to bars and clubs all the time, and I was really scared of losing that aspect. So find similar people, find people who are in recovery, and go to an anonymous program. Try anything. Get your community on lock, because that's what's going to get you there.